Hey YouTube, y'all see Monique's video? I think she dropped it yesterday. This people are Chestnut Checkers TV. Chestnut Checkers TV. I'm gonna post the link down in the description. But that I don't mind giving credit when credit is due. Now I know I have most of the time when I come on here and talk about Monique, it's something negative. I don't agree with a lot of her of the way she's went about handling her career and so forth. I think we just basically don't agree. So it seems very negative, but I don't mind giving somebody credit when credit is due. That girl looked fabulous. I was set up here looking at this video. This woman sitting here wiggling in the camera. I hadn't even peeped who I was looking at yet, right? I didn't couldn't tell who it was, so I zoomed in on her face. I said, "Oh my God, that's Monique. She looks fabulous." Women, you guys are blessed because a good stylist, because this is not only her body it seems to be near perfect. But a good stylist, it makes a huge amount of difference. You can work with hair, you can work with makeup, you can fix yourself up. Us, we're kind of stuck with this. Although recently there's been people have been using these what did Wilson call it? Man something, manscape or man hat, whatever it's called, little two-page thing. So I guess you can if you're really determined do a few things to yourself. But women can really, really dress it up. So I think Monique has gotten a good stylist for whatever shoot she's doing. But you can't take away she's lost an awful lot of weight. Looking at that video, you could never tell that girl was at one time a big girl. She made movies about being a big girl. What she called it, fat girls. I ain't calling nobody fat. I'm just saying that's what was one or two of her movies was called that. So she was a big girl. She still had a cute face, but now, ravishing at 50. So, somebody told me that she had been making these weight loss videos and things. So if she did that naturally, that is amazing. But even if she did it with surgery, I think you ought to let people know. Be honest. Tell them this is what you do, honey. I know that it has to be at least part exercise because I mean it looks near perfect. She looked beautiful. She looked like Dinah Ross. Anyway, you guys check out Monique's video. I don't know where she stands with all her other stuff, but in this weight loss project of hers, she's a winner. And I hope she can apply that kind of discipline because it's got to take a lot of discipline to go from where she was to where she is now. Hopefully she can apply those disciplines to fixing her career. That would be a great success story. Okay, so I'm not taking anything I ever said about Monique back. I just kind of try to be honest with how I felt. But she did a great job with this. She deserves credit. And Sydney needs to stay with one woman now because you have something at home. You don't need to be having open anyway. Let me not slip off. Other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is what the hell happens to Empire. Now I know that I just wasn't that invested anymore last couple of years, and I remember the excitement everyone had about Empire when it came on. So I can't figure out what it was, but I noticed that I'm not the only one that's not reviewing it. Basically, no YouTubers are reviewing it. I think Ashley does it. I think she did it because Lee Daniels himself asked her to have faith, but. I mean, I used to love that show. I used to wait for it. I mean, it comes on tonight, and I will watch it. I'll still watch it. I don't think I missed an episode of Empire. But I just don't know how it could recapture the kind of attention. And I think a lot of it was the newness of it, of seeing a character like Jamal, and especially Cookie, even Lucius. All the characters, they were so new. It was fresh. This look into the hip hop world. But now they've tried everything. They've tried murdering people. They've tried burning people up in cars. I mean, they've tried everything. This man has lost a leg. Was it a leg or arm? A leg. I think he lost a leg. It seems like they're trying everything, and maybe they're trying too hard. My biggest complaint about Empire was the way they would wrap up storylines so quickly. Like with that woman with the big titties. What was her name? The prosecutor. They had her. They put a dead body in her car and burned it up, and then that whole storyline was over. Her screaming was the end of the storyline. Now, how in the hell did that happen? So they do that a lot. They wrap things up, and then I know on television it's not unusual. Some of these series to go through these storylines very quickly. In fact, some of them they go through storylines in one episode. Each episode is about a different crime, and they solve the crime by the end of it. I just didn't get the impression that worked for Empire. They're going to open things up. Look at Eddie, the one that just got killed, the one Forrest Whitaker played. His name Eddie? I mean, that they built it up for a whole season, and then one scene is over. So that would be my observation. But I don't know how they can get this show back. I don't think we're going to ever recapture the newness. And sometimes you just have to let a dying thing die. So I don't know. I'll be curious about you guys' perception of that television show. I mean, I miss it. I miss it. I'm gonna watch it tonight, and I do enjoy it to an extent still. But when they took all kind of the hardness away from Cookie, I mean, you remember how she came out? She came out straight out of prison. That was the opening scene, reclaiming her fortune. But that character was so raw, so ratchet. And I think the element is kind of gone from that character. They need to pump some more energy into Cookie's character. And I suspect that there are different writers writing than the initial writers. Perhaps Danny Strong and Lee Daniels were more involved initially. Something is definitely missing. And I know these people are trying, they're trying everything. But it just didn't have the fire. So perhaps maybe it may not be here next season. Just a guess. I don't think you should keep a dying thing alive. You know, just barely keep it alive. And of course, these networks, they go by the ratings. So I think they're going to get maybe a surprise with this. But they're still better than a lot of shows on television. Still better than a whole lot of shows. So I hope it can be fixed, revitalized. I thought shows, even the best shows, like to me, for a whole lifetime, The Sopranos was the best show on television for me. Even including childhood shows. That, of course, in childhood, we all watched the same stuff. We only had 4 channels. Everybody was aware of what was on television because you only had 4 channels. Now they got 600. So, but I thought The Sopranos was the best show on television. I was amazed when they ended it. But after 6 years, it had run its course. It had just run its course. It was over. They wrapped it up, you know. So if The Sopranos can lose ratings or in this run, certainly that will happen to probably most shows. So my hope for Lee Daniels, I think you should do a movie now. Take a break from television and just, I mean, Star is going, and apparently people who are into Star, they're getting a good show still. That was I never really liked that one. But I'm hoping that Daniels will go and do a major movie now. And we can come back to television. Anyway, just an observation. I'm curious to know what you guys think about Empire. And I know there's a difference. It's not all in my head because I just see how many people have dropped off from reviewing it. In the beginning, everyone was reviewing it. In fact, one of the main reasons I even attempted to review any show was because of James Caldwell's review of the first season of Empire. The excitement that he had, I mean, it just drew me in, you know what I mean? And that seems to have passed. So what do you guys think? Should Cookie spin off into something else? I don't know where that came from. Anyway, we would definitely be visiting my other favorite show, Greenleaf. We'll watch both of them tonight, and we'll review Greenleaf in the morning. All right, you guys. Talk to you later. Let me know what you think about Empire. Do you think it's over? Should they wrap it up? What do you think? Will it be back next year? What do you guys think? Or should somebody spin off? It's a possibility. Later.